chicken. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yes.
Nathan is in school. And he's There you go, Mary. Hey, Mary.
I said to everybody, if you want to, like, the Dwight D. Eisenhower Middle School Class of 2024. My name is Lori Gambino, and I am the proud principal of Eisenhower. To begin our ceremony, I would like to call to the stage graduates Ariana Delgado and Ryan Hoffman, along with the members of the 8th grade sax ensemble under the direction of Mrs. Christine Feldman. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Attention salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. I can't begin to express the incredible joy I feel standing before you. Today's ceremony is a triumphant conclusion to the 3-year journey our class of 2024 has taken, and it is truly a gift to have a room full of people whose love and support has nurtured our generals as they worked toward the successful conclusion of their middle school years. It is my pleasure to begin by welcoming our esteemed guests that graciously gave of their time this afternoon to join us in celebrating all our generals have accomplished and overcome in not only their last 3 years as a general, but their last 9 years as students in Freehold Township High School. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge our beloved Assistant Principal, Mr. Anthony Geritano. Our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Neil Dickstein. Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Diane Breathauer. Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Rebecca Montgomery. Business Administrator, Mr. Robert DeVita. Mrs. Christine Cleffy, Director of Educational Services. Members of the Board of Education, Board President, Mr. Michael Amoroso. Board Vice President, Mrs. Michelle Lambert. Board members, Mrs. Renata Brand. Ms. Mary Cozzolino. Ms. Elena O'Sullivan. And Ms. Carrie Vindatoli. I'd like to also welcome Supervisor of Language Arts and Social Studies, Ms. Katie Harms. Principal of the C. Richard Applegate School, Mr. Bradley Milloway. Supervisor of the C. Richard Applegate School, Ms. Amy Cerullo. Principal of the Joseph J. Katina School, Ms. Tracy Shaw. And our distinguished guest, Mrs. Angela Juffy, Alpha Delta Kappa representative. Mr. William Sotero, former superintendent of schools. And Mrs. Michaela Lamp, PACE representative. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium graduate Miss Dublin Avestro, who will be delivering our first graduate address.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here today to celebrate the class of 2024. I would like to just take a moment to recognize everyone who has helped us throughout these 3 years at Eisenhower. Parents, teachers, and staff, I can only imagine what you have put up with from us, so I believe we all thank you for the amount of support you have given. Wow, time really does fly by when you're having fun. I know, it's corny, but it certainly is true. When I first stepped foot into the building of Dwight David Eisenhower Middle School, I never in a million years believed how much would be accomplished in the 3 years spent in the halls, the classrooms, and the fields of our school. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that it was a little overwhelming. The number of kids was tripled, the classes were different, and our norm was now a faint memory of elementary school. We had just turned a fresh new page of our book, leaving all the chapters behind. The familiar, now becoming the unfamiliar, and living a place we had been for 6 years was hard. It took a little while, but over time, we found our friends, we found a way to make DDE our own, and we grew. It became a routine, and eventually drifting became thriving. There were highs and lows throughout the inspiring years filled with educational attributes and social interactions. Friendships and experiences, classes and grades, and many more things that have shaped us to be the individuals we are today. Yes, it sure was tough, but here we are, standing here in our gowns. We made it. We are okay. 6th grade was a challenge to say the least, but we powered through. I think that most of us feared and imagined more than what it actually was. Lockers were still tricky, but we managed. We learned our grammar and our vocabulary, our PEMDAs and OT the Iceman. We learned who our friends were and who the fun teachers are. We were academically pushed and our brains were growing bigger and bigger every second of every minute. Our cleverness was being used, and our knowledge was being absorbed. A third of part 2 to our book had just been published. 7th grade was rewarding. All of our hard work in 6th grade got us into 7th grade, the middle year. Slightly easier than 6th and less stressful than 8th, but we had to keep grades in mind for high school. Our future was in our peripherals, and our intelligence was in front of us. We grew like plants, our food was lessons, and the energy around us was our environment. We dissected cow eyes and dove deep into our books. We grew with linear equations and argued with every debate. Our book was filled with happy memories, and the pages gleamed with good times. To put it short, 7th grade was enjoyable. 8th grade, the third and last year at this school. I couldn't believe the time that has gone by, as I still remember my first ever appearance here, clear as day. 2 years had already passed in DDE, and had made us all feel like we had solved the puzzle of life. No need to worry, our book was still being written, just the pages were being filled quicker. I'd like to think that this was our year, that all of our hard work and effort was paying off. Yes, we still had classwork, and yes, it was tougher than 7th grade, but there was more to look up to. We would dance in dresses and suits, we would explore on a field trip, and of course, we would graduate like we were doing so today. Looking back on the good days we have all shared at this school, I truly have to appreciate how much Eisenhower made sure that we all belonged. This school has truly given us the ability to find common similarities, from things like the National Junior Honor Society and student government, to peer leaders and young adult book club. I want to thank Eisenhower Middle School for such a diverse amount of opportunities. One memory I remember so vividly was a moment of community we all shared in the gymnasium of Dwight D. Eisenhower. This moment, captured by memories and held onto through pages of a book, was a limbo assembly between Nukamori, Izabindi, and Unraka. It had left music playing and students lingering on the bleachers. One song initiated it all. In its entirety, we all started swaying and singing along as a whole school. It is times like these that I will miss the most. And now, as I'm standing here speaking, it is time I come to reflect and think about the things that will be different now. We will separate and go to new schools where the cycle will repeat once again. Our norm will become a faint memory of middle school this time. But it is not over, no. We will keep in touch. We will see each other again. I hope the future of Eisenhower has just as much fun as we did. They sure have a lot to look up to. And now, in conclusion, I must turn the final page and finish this chapter. The feeling I have now is bittersweet, and some things are still hard to accept. But as I speak my last words here on this stage, I'd like to leave you with this. Your life is your story, and the adventure ahead of you is the journey to fulfill your purpose and potential. Congrats, graduates. We are the class of 2024.
Thank you, Dublin. At this time, it is my great pleasure to welcome to the podium our guidance counselors, Ms. Megan Coffey and Mr. Greg Durante, to announce this year's award recipients.
Each year, students who distinguish themselves in the area of language arts are selected to receive awards. Our Language Arts Awards are named for two people. The Dr. Catherine M. Snyder Language Arts Award is named for our former superintendent of schools, and the A.W. Nordforce Language Arts Award named for a former Eisenhower teacher. The criteria for these awards are as follows. These students exhibited extraordinary passion for reading and writing, both within and outside the classroom. They consistently earned A's in language arts, and the winners continually challenged themselves in their independent reading selections and their personal writing. Please help me in congratulating this year's recipients of the Language Arts Award, Sophia Cipriati, Shiloh Harris, Leah McGuire, Alessandra Nani, and Krish Patel. Each year, the Mathematics Award is given to students who have demonstrated excellence in mathematics by consistently exhibiting a thorough understanding of and interest in mathematics. Each award recipient is able to thoroughly review and reflect upon his or her work and methods, thereby ensuring the greatest level of success. Please help me in congratulating this year's recipients of the Mathematics Award: Michael Allen, Ajit Devuri, Dylan Kagan, and Andrea Taban. The Marshall W. Erickson Award for Social Studies is named for the first and long-standing superintendent of the Freehold Township Schools. Today, in his honor, the school on Elton Adelphia Road bears his name. Each recipient of this award has demonstrated excellence in his or her ability to understand the importance of all the aspects of social studies and to be an excellent citizen of Eisenhower School. Please help me in congratulating this year's recipients of the M.W. Erickson Social Studies Award, Jaden Aziz and Tice Protera. The Science Award is given to students who have exhibited 3 years of excellent work in the field of science. These students have consistently achieved high levels of academic performance, they have participated in activities related to this subject, and they have acted as leaders in their classroom, and they have expressed a desire to pursue additional studies in the field of science. Please help me in congratulating this year's recipients of the Science Award, Jaden Billingsley and Zachary McDowell. The Spanish Award is named in honor of Mrs. Patricia O'Neill, who was a beloved Spanish teacher for many years at Eisenhower Middle School. Mrs. O'Neill was many things to many people, but most of all, she was a person who truly lived her life with arms wide open. The students receiving this award exhibited the following characteristics: a passion for learning the Spanish language, highly developed conversational skills, excellent participation during class, and a willingness to help others. Please help me in congratulating this year's recipients of the Patricia O'Neill Spanish Award, Colin McDonald and Cicely O.
Hello. The Eisenhower Middle School has established, sorry. I apologize. The Eisenhower Middle School has established the Kevin Clausen Fine and Performing Arts Award in honor of our Eisenhower classmate, Kevin Clausen. This award is given to students who embody personal expression through the arts and have shown a dedication to fine art, vocal, and/or instrumental music. The award recipients possess artistic qualities. Each is forward-thinking, enthusiastic, and has a creative spirit. Ava Fernandez, Olivia Mazaranu, Abigail Reiner, Alina Rodenko, and Christina Sorensen. The Graham Preston Sportsmanship Award is given each year to the student or students who most exhibit the characteristics and values we ascribe to good sportspersons. It is named in honor of our classmate, Graham Preston, who served as a role model on and off the field. These students are always respectful, always willing to lend a hand to students and staff, and embody the positive character traits that we find in people who are role models for how to act in an environment where your personal goals and objectives are not as important as those of the team. Lucas DiLorenzo, Warren Persky, and Amanda Tornor. The Thomas M. Gailey Outstanding Achievement Award is given to students who have demonstrated outstanding performance in academics, effort, overall attitude, personal growth, and leadership. The purpose of this award is to acknowledge the hard work of students, emphasize the value of education, and encourage the pursuit of future educational goals. The students who receive this award embody characteristics of perseverance, hard work, and strong academic goals. In addition to receiving a plaque, each recipient of the Tom Gailey Award will receive a check for $100. Maximo Alfonso and Sarah Montgomery. Alpha Delta Kappa is an international honorary organization of women educators who are dedicated to educational excellence, altruism, and worldwide understanding. The Citizenship Award is given to students who have demonstrated good citizenship towards peers, faculty and staff, and the community through kindness, enthusiasm, caring, and altruism. In addition to a plaque, the recipients of this award each receive $50. Lila Seslak and Mackenzie Curran. The Principal's Award is named in honor of Mrs. Regina Schulman, who was a social studies teacher here at the Eisenhower School for many years. Each recipient of this award is not only an excellent student, but also shares a love for learning, an unselfish and giving spirit, and always looks to help others in need. Matthew Hankel and Emma Thaler.
Thank you, Ms. Coffey and Mr. Durante, and congratulations to all our deserving award recipients. At this time, please join me in welcoming graduate Mr. Jack Manfredonia to the podium to deliver our next graduate address.
Dwight David Eisenhower Middle School, the place where we have all experienced our highs and lows, the place where we have built relationships with one another, the place that allows those who love art, music, trivia, sports, acting, nature, and all other activities to feel comfortable and that they belong. The place that has carved us into insightful, dignified teenagers. We are no longer the frail, naive sixth graders we once were. What we have gained from this place is truly a gift. But it is very important to note we wouldn't have been able to benefit from our school if it wasn't for our outstanding staff. To start off this speech, speaking for all of the class of 2024, I would like to thank all of you for being here today with the sole purpose of supporting us graduating 8th graders. I would first like to thank Mr. Dickstein, Dr. Brethauer, Ms. Montgomery, the Board of Ed, the staff, teachers, and principals for always inspiring us to become the best versions of ourselves, for always doing the best that they can to make sure we can learn with quality, concern, patience, and safety. And then those who have helped us outside of Eisenhower, who have also played a crucial role in our success, like our parents, grandparents, and siblings. I think we can all remember the first day, stepping into the halls of Eisenhower for the first time, sitting down in homeroom, our legs shaking, looking at the new faces around us, just pondering in silence. 3 years ago, we all started a new story here at Eisenhower, 6th grade, our first chapter. The start to our 6th grade year was the most hectic time of our years at Eisenhower. Learning our schedules, taking tests, and stressing over grades for the first time was not that fun of all. The biggest setback being, however, the regulations put in place because of the virus that was going around. Despite these setbacks, our 6th grade year was amazing, many memories were made, and friendships started to form because for the first time, we were given the ability to find those who share the same interests with us. But chapters to stories eventually come to an end. And after 6th grade had ended and the following summer flew by, the next thing we knew, we were back at it. Another year, another chapter here at Eisenhower, 7th grade. If I had to define 7th grade, I would define 7th grade as a changing year. And I think this was because the topic of high school had been brought up for the first time. The thought of being separated from our friends was a huge reality check, and we knew this would be inevitable. We knew we would have to meet new people again. Luckily, Eisenhower gave us the opportunity to prepare ourselves for the challenge ahead. I had finally decided to participate in a school activity for the first time, trying out for the school soccer team. I hadn't done this in 6th grade because I was afraid to come out of my comfort zone, but I knew it was time to grow. Stepping out of our comfort zone is something we have all done at least a few times here at Eisenhower, and I know for a fact that these experiences have either changed us into better versions of ourselves or have taught us things that will be vital in our future. I think that we are all thankful that Eisenhower gave us these pivotal moments that will prepare us for the upcoming obstacles ahead. After 7th grade had finished, and the next summer had ended, we started our final chapter to our story at Eisenhower, 8th grade. This year was by far the most enjoyable out of the three, and it's my personal favorite year at Eisenhower. I know I may sound like a complete nerd right now, but this year was so great that some days I wanted to stay in school longer. Not till like 6:30, but you get the point. Although this year flew by so fast, and the start of our 8th grade experience was stressful over high school programs, I think we can all agree we are happy and so proud to be where we are now. All of us, the class of 2024, have reached great heights and have maneuvered past what seems like the impossible. We must take what we have learned from Eisenhower to progress through our unwritten high school story. Right now, we are on the final page of our story here at Eisenhower. I know it's hard to believe, but it is time to write the last lines to our story. But before these lines were written, I'd like to thank everyone who has led us to thrive one last time. And now to write the final lines on the last page of our story here at Eisenhower, I'd like to say let's all hope for the best and seek for greatness. Thank you for your time, and congratulations to the class of 2024.
Thank you, Jack. At this time, I'd like to invite the members of Stardust 24 to the stage. Arranged and performed by the members of Stardust 24 under the direction of Mr. Jesse Ryan, My Wish, I Hope You Dance.
days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens and another door closes, promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance for you. I hope you dance. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. That you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. But more than anything, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Tell me who wants to look back on the years and wonder where those years have gone. I hope you dance. Yeah, this is my wish.
Thank you, Stardust. At this time, please join me in welcoming graduate Miss Ava Fernandez to the podium to deliver our final graduate address.
Frozen, an amazing movie filled with exciting twists and turns and an ending we didn't expect. Before I dive into how Elsa's journey parallels with our middle school experience, I would like to express my gratitude to all members of the Board of Education, Mr. Dickstein, Dr. Brethauer, Ms. Montgomery, Ms. Gambino, Mr. Geritano, faculty, invited guests, family, and friends. To begin the movie, Elsa is a princess with potential who must learn to control her emotions and power in order to fulfill her destiny. Along her journey, she meets a snowman who shares impactful advice. Similarly, I'm sure most of us here today can think of at least one teacher or mentor who helped guide us through the halls of middle school. Elsa learned to control her emotions and take leadership, ownership, and responsibility. Perhaps we can't build ice palaces, but we can write essays and solve algebraic equations. Through our perseverance, determination, and willingness to succeed, we have also learned to grow in character as well as mastering our curriculum. I remember the first time I walked into middle school, feeling nervous and excited, just like Elsa stepping into the unknown. Through the massive doors of middle school, all I could think about was rushing through this chapter of my life and moving on to high school. Middle school is an awkward part of life with one foot in childhood and another foot in maturity. Back in 6th grade, we may have wanted to skip over this awkwardness and go straight to high school. We were all nervous about making new friends, getting our lockers to work, and navigating our more advanced schedules. Even though we may have wanted to fast forward some parts of these 3 years, I'm looking back and I'm glad we did not take it all for granted. While writing this, I reflected on most of my experiences in middle school. Going to get air on Friday nights, Opa-Tuck games for flag football, attending school games, winter trips to the mall, and all other fun school activities. We have all been through so much together, and in the end, middle school was a change as we expected, but a change for the better. We teenagers wouldn't be the same people we are today if we weren't desperate to meet new friends, support teams, and most of all, fit in with each other. Fitting in is important to all of us, whether we want to admit it or not. We worry what others will think when we wear new clothes, use a certain emoji in our text, raise our hand to answer a question, or even show up to a hangout with our friends. When Elsa could not fit in, she ran away. But when she realized that her differences made her stronger, she was able to reign as the Queen of Arendelle. As we enter high school, let's start this new beginning by not caring what others think. Let's do what we believe is right and be the best people we can be. No matter how someone seems on the surface, you never know what they are thinking or going through. Making good decisions that have a positive reflection on others helps our class of 2024 become even better than it already is. No matter how many times we are told to stop judging others or worry about what others will think of us, the reality is that people do judge and people do worry. I once heard a quote that goes something like this: "Life's tough, get a helmet." This quote shows us that even though we could be as positive as possible and try to influence others in a good way, we are going to have to face life one way or another. Our years at DDE have shaped us into rising high schoolers who are prepared to do just that. In conclusion, in many ways, Elsa's story mirrors our experience of middle school. We all try to fit in, take risks, overthink, judge, and try to deal with the people who don't like us. Just as Elsa learned to let it go, control her powers, and embrace her role as the queen, we have learned to navigate the challenges of middle school and prepare for high school. So as I stand here in front of you today, I want to leave you with this. Don't be afraid to try new things, wear new clothes, send a new emoji in your text, raise your hand in class, and make new friends. Our 8th grade class lived all of our middle school years to the fullest. Congratulations to Dwight D. Eisenhower's class of 2024, and we will always be remembered as a general in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. Class of 2024, as I reflect on your 3 years with us at Eisenhower, I think not only about the curriculum we ensure you master in classes like language arts and math, Spanish, and health, but I also reflect on what it takes to be successful in life and how we supported your growth in those areas. At each back-to-school night, I show your parents a list of the top skills employers are looking for, traits of highly successful people. That list doesn't necessarily include mastery of exponents, ability to determine theme, or conjugating verbs, although those are important skills. That list includes things like resilience, mental toughness, teamwork and collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. And when I think about your generation, I think twice about resilience and mental toughness. I know that some of you spend a good deal of time outside of your 7.5 hours with us on technology. I wonder if you're able to develop these crucial skills of resilience, perseverance, and mental toughness as you scroll through social media platforms or YouTube videos. Speaking of scrolling, I recently learned that TikTok users watch videos for an average of 3.3 seconds, meaning that videos are only 22% completed when the viewer decides to scroll on to the next video. The challenge with this fast-paced ease of moving to the next new and great thing can convince our brain that we need instant gratification in all areas of our lives. In fact, the anticipation and receipt of this gratification triggers a dopamine release in our brains, which reinforces an increased desire for instant gratification. But when we think back to those crucial skills like resilience and perseverance, they don't exactly go hand in hand with instant gratification. In fact, research suggests that true happiness lies in delayed gratification. This may be a challenging concept for you teenagers that enjoy the technological advancements of 2024. So I want to tell you some scenarios from the Stone Ages, also known as the time that I grew up in the 1980s and 90s, where delayed gratification was the norm. When I was your age, there were no DVR and no streaming platforms. If I wanted to watch a TV show, I had to be sitting in front of the television at the exact same time that show came on. Same with music. I used to sit with my tape recorder and listen to the radio, and when my favorite song would come on, I would press record so that I could have a copy of the song. When I was your age, there was no Amazon. If we wanted to buy something, we went to the store. Sometimes the store didn't have it, and then it could take weeks to arrive. Nothing, and I mean nothing, was delivered the next day. And maybe the most significant of all, there was no Google. Even though Google was founded in 1998, it was several years before the search engine was widely available. If I wanted to find out more information about tornadoes or the species of bug that was crawling on my back door, I had to get in the car and go to the library, where I could look at encyclopedias or other reference books until I found the answers to my questions. I know all of this is very foreign to you, but in this era of instant gratification, TV shows and movies, packages, and information at the tip of your fingertips, I want to challenge you to find ways to develop your appreciation for delayed gratification in the things that are difficult to achieve, that may take a long time to master, and relish that struggle. I want you to take a moment to think about something that is a far reach for you, something you've wanted to achieve or master either in the next year or the next 10 years. It might be a complex piece of music you're trying to play, a personal record for your 5K, a novel you wanted to write, a college to which you want to be accepted. It will surely take you more than 3.3 seconds, which is the time people scroll to the next video, to accomplish those goals. It may take more than 3.3 minutes or even 3.3 hours. For some very challenging feats, it may take more than 3.3 days or weeks. This makes me think of Usain Bolt, who is widely believed to be the greatest sprinter of all time, holding world records in the 100 meters and the 200 meters and winning the 100-meter dash in the Olympics for 3 consecutive Olympic Games. He said, "I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds. And some people give up when they don't see results in 2 months." When is the last time you dedicated yourself to achieve something that was not easily mastered on the first, second, or even third try? What if you applied Usain Bolt's perseverance to a goal that you have in your life? If we think about those people whom we view as successful in our society, many of those individuals became successful because when something was tough or hard, they persevered and they displayed resilience, refusing to give up until they achieved their goals. In fact, we might even say they strove to do nearly impossible things they or others thought maybe they could not achieve. This is the epitome of delayed gratification: resilience, perseverance, response to failure. I'm sure many of you know that Michael Jordan, who I would argue is the greatest basketball player of all time, did not make the varsity basketball team his sophomore year of high school. Steven Spielberg, director of many Oscar-winning movies, was rejected from film school 3 times. J.K. Rowling's original manuscript of Harry Potter was rejected from 12 publishers. Simone Biles, one of the most decorated Olympic gymnasts, did not make the women's junior national team on her first try. Martin Luther King Jr., who wrote and delivered one of the most famous speeches of all time, got a C in public speaking. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple Computer, was fired from his own company before eventually creating the iPhone. Take a minute and think what might have happened if any of these successful people gave up when they faced their first or 11th rejection. None of them would have experienced the level of success that they ultimately achieved. 7-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Tom Brady, who is known for his work ethic and his mental toughness, gave a speech last week when he was inducted into the New England Patriots Hall of Fame. And he beautifully articulated the message I hope you take away from me today. He said, "Life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and bruises and hits along the way. My advice is to prepare yourself. Success and achievement come from overcoming adversity. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't: consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts." So in this world of DVR and Amazon and Google and TikTok, what will you do when faced with adversity? I hope you will think of your time at Eisenhower Middle School and how you were inspired to persevere through difficulty and challenges, how your math teachers taught you that mistakes help your brain grow so you can't give up when it's hard. And remember this idea of delayed gratification and how sweet the reward is when you've truly worked your butt off to achieve it. I want to leave you with the words of Oprah Winfrey. Do the one thing you think you cannot do. Fail at it, try again. Do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire. This is your moment. Own it. Class of 2024, chase your wildest dreams. We know you can achieve them. Thank you. At this time, it is my great pleasure to welcome to the podium our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Neil Dickstein.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to be provided time to address our students and their families as they graduate today from 8th grade. When you think about your education through high school and beyond, you spend the most time with us in our elementary and middle schools. Robert Hutchins said, "It must be remembered that the purpose of education is not to fill the minds of students with facts, but to teach them to think." He went on to say, "The object of education is to prepare the young to educate themselves throughout their lives." For the past 9 years, the adults with whom you have worked since preschool or kindergarten have provided you the foundation for high school and beyond. My hope is that we've taught you how to think critically and encouraged you to be on a journey of constant learning. During a college graduation speech, the class valedictorian described the 16th second. He described the euphoria and adrenaline of the first 15 seconds after he was named the top of his class. Then the 16th second arrived. The positive emotions were gone. He was left what he describes feeling somewhat flat. After reflecting on why, he learned that while everyone should work hard, it should not be done for the sole purpose of a goal at the expense of the relationships with others, because the celebration is temporary, but relationships are long-lasting. There are so many relationships you have in your lives. Relationships with parents, teachers, coaches, siblings, friends, and many others. Invest time and energy in valuing and developing those relationships. When the going gets tough, and there are days where it's really tough, those closest to you are the ones who provide you the support you need to persevere. An author wrote, "Conflict is inevitable, but combat is optional." I've personally observed the manner in which you've dealt with conflict throughout your years here with us. Some of you skillfully navigate disagreements with friends, while others take a path that could negatively impact relationships forever. As you get older, you'll realize that it's normal and sometimes productive to have disagreements with others. However, if you value the relationship, you will invest time and thought into a resolution. Just because you don't agree with someone or experience an issue does not mean you have to escalate it to a full-blown fight. This becomes increasingly more important as you get older, and it's important to keep in mind with all the relationships in your lives through high school, college, and the workplace. We've worked diligently to teach you about empathy and how to show empathy for others. In addition to having empathy, I challenge each of you to also have grace. Grace is defined as the quality or state of being considerate or thoughtful. As you manage the relationships in your lives, give those you care about grace. Similarly, you need to give yourself grace. As you move through high school, you will be presented with challenges. Some of those challenges will test you, push you, and make you feel like the goal is impossible. These are the times you need to show yourself grace. Take it easy on yourself. Take solace in knowing that as long as you are trying your best, you deserve grace. As you progress through high school over the next few years, give some thought as to what your passion is. What motivates you? What are you doing when you're at your most joyful and feeling most productive? Then invest time in developing those passions. Whether it be getting involved on sports teams and clubs, pursuing a trade and vocational school, enrolling in electives or programs that are aligned with your interests or potential career goals, pursuing your passion will make high school even more enjoyable than you think it will be. No matter what you decide to do it to your fullest potential. As I close, I would like to thank all of those in attendance today who contributed to the success of our 8th grade students. While we have educated the students in front of us for many years, we acknowledge that parents and guardians are their children's primary teachers. Thank you for your support of us and your children over those years. Mr. Amoroso and Board of Education members, with the powers vested in me by the State of New Jersey, I hereby confirm the recommendation of Mrs. Gambino, principal of the Dwight D. Eisenhower Middle School, that the students presented to you this afternoon have fulfilled the requirement of the New Jersey Student Learning Standards according to New Jersey Statute and Administrative Code and are eligible for graduation from the Freehold Township School District. I am proud to present to you the Dwight D. Eisenhower Class of 2024.
While our graduates are coming up to the stage, I trust that all of them did their homework over the last couple nights and had some conversations with you about the quickest way to be on your way to your family celebrations after this, and that is if we wait until the end for applause. I know it is a very tall order, but if we have to wait for every name, you're going to be here twice as long. And we want to make sure that each of you has your moment to hear your special graduate's name read. So thank you in advance for that. And without further ado, Lila Brooke Aronson.
Grace Nicole Abanto.
Nicolette Joe Abinanti.
Lamis Abushakra.
Adam Aguaya.
Maximo Alfonso.
Basil Alkayer.
Faris Alkair.
Michael J. Allen.
Thomas Edward Allsager.
Luisa Maria Amatucci.
Elena Donna Ambrosio.
Aiden James Arce.
Sadie Noelia Archer.
Brooklyn Arcolio.
Declan Grayson Avestro.
Dublin Quinn Avestro.
Jaden James Aziz.
Irakli Bakradze.
Ryland Barty.
Jenna Irene Baum.
Michael Benincasa.
Mayuri Dejani Benton.
Jaden Lee Billingsley.
Christian Enrico Blanco.
Avery Grace Boyle.
Jacob C. Brake.
Max Emmanuel Bressler.
Charles Hudson Bromberger.
Dominic Bryant.
Anthony Jake Burlew.
Marcus Fernandez Camacho.
Nicholas Cardona.
Tyler Carney.
Matthew James Casucci.
Ramiz Umar Chowdhury.
Edwin Chen.
Daniel M. Chubati.
Lila C. Sislak.
Sofia Milagros Cipriati.
Carlo L. Correo.
Ryan Corsero.
Ryan Matthew Corson.
Samantha Ariana Costa.
Carson Michael Castagliola.
Mackenzie Rose Curran.
Emmy Rain Chichuga.
Nicolette Rose DeLeo.
Kobe Dansell.
Ariana Rose Delgado.
Ryan C. DeMarco.
Michael Gavin DeTrizio.
Salvatore DeVito.
Valerie Ann DeLeo.
Lucas R. DiLorenzo.
Thomas Paul Diver.
Gia Nicole DeRazio.
Ajit Devori.
Mason James Fanueli.
Julia Catherine Fada.
Christian Alexander Favorita.
Ava Fernandez.
Logan Ferretti.
Michael Figueroa Jr.
Jordan Ashley Franklin.
Emma Grace Fulgham.
Sofia Camilla Mercadante Galdino.
Shael T. Gannon.
Lila Simone Geddes.
Gabriella Gerace.
Angela H. Germino.
Julia Marie Gibson.
Maxim Golkov.
Joseph Enrique Greeny Chang.
Cassidy Gusera.
Luis Gutierrez Aceguera.
Ava Grace Hanrahan.
Shiloh Harris.
Lauren Elizabeth Healy.
Matthew David Henkel.
Ava Hernandez.
Myra Hernandez.
Ryan Travis Hoffman.
Kalen Hunter.
Salvatore Anthony Ippolito, Jr.
Gabriella Marie Jamie.
Harley Daniel Jameson.
Benjamin Paul Jaworski.
Tabitha Grace Jester.
Dylan Kagan.
Rebecca Jordan Kaufman.
David Kim.
Madison Ann Klashinsky.
Aiden Kong.
Miles Avery Krakovic.
Evelyn Krupacheva.
Katie Kavasov.
Braden Lamp.
Jason Lanier, Jr.
Nicholas Keith Larkin.
Haley Faith Lizer.
Alexis Jordana Lerner.
Jack Ethan Lerner.
Daniel Leschko.
Thomas Ryan Lockney.
Colin Christopher MacDonald.
Kyle Patrick Mahalik.
James Ryan Main.
Apsara Malhotra.
Jack Amel Manfredonia.
Haley Mangle.
Alexa Rose Marcolini.
Nora Mariano.
Julia Rose Mariconda.
Lily Sophia Mariconda.
Marco Alexander Maripakis.
Benjamin David Marquez.
Rachel Jane Marcella.
Olivia Mazzarano.
Christian Thomas Mazza.
Zachary James McDowell.
Thomas James McGough.
Asante Camille McGowan.
Leah Nicole McGuire.
Melanie Mendez.
Pedro Mendez Alonso.
Nathan Gary Mazinski.
Isabella Ashley Mincer.
Gianni M. Mira.
Sarah Rita Montgomery.
Cole Mitchell Muniz.
Joseph Mussolino.
Alessandra Rita Nani.
Zoe Evelyn Nelius.
Maria Rose Nikosha.
Sophia Oakes.
Nathaniel J. Olson.
Omar Ortiz.
Cece O.
Emily Arlene Pascali.
Krish K. Patel.
Alasia Paulson.
Luciana Marie Pavis.
Maggie Elizabeth Perkins.
Warren Michael Persky.
Andrew Pescatore.
Tice Lucky Portera.
Zachary John Ryan Post.
Yash Puro.
Juliana Hope Ragovan.
Christopher Allen Rand.
Abigail Reiner.
Colton Ray Reynolds.
Thanks, Chris. Jocelyn Pauline Riccardelli.
Carly May Richmond.
Analia Elizabeth Rivera.
Eric Rahofsky.
Santino B. Roberts.
Ian Gabriel Rodriguez.
Giuseppe Romano Jr.
Brianna Rose Rothmich.
Alina Rudenko.
Kendall Ryan.
Emily Grace Rizetnik.
Rachel Marie Santiago.
Ella Sarin.
Anastasia Sasana.
Cameron Ryan Sasnow.
Nick Ryder Shapiro.
Daria Sharnovich.
Anaya Atif Siddiqui.
Ethan J. Siegel.
Christina J. Sorensen.
Anna Lee Spira.
Mia Lynn Sullivan.
Shay Kara Tarpey.
Amber Taylor.
Kyle Martin Taylor.
Emma Charlotte Thaler.
Hannah Elizabeth Thompson.
Andrea Tabone.
Catherine Grace Todor.
Amanda Lauren Tornor.
Chloe Madeline Tornor.
Zachary Ben Valiath.
Gianna Marie Ventresca.
Vanessa Verducci.
Robert Peter Walsh.
Jason Paul Ward.
Connor Thomas Wigand.
Kennedy Madison Yelder.
Julia Olivia Young.
Halia Angelina Zamora.
Michael David Zaslowski.
All right, graduates, you may stand. It was our true pleasure, graduates. Congratulations, class of 2024. Graduates, you may recess out to meet your families. Guests, if you can just stay where you are until our graduates get up the aisle and out. Thank you so much. Go ahead, graduates.